Okay, so we all know that Apple released the new MacBook Pros and the iMac with the M3, and then introducing the family of M3 chips, which is the M3, M3 Pro, and M3 Max. And so with that being said, I wanted to share a buyer's guide opinion of what you should buy and what you shouldn't buy. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and talk about M1. M1 MacBook Air came out in 2020 of November, and I would say it's still a pretty decent performing MacBook, but I wouldn't suggest it going into 2024. If you're looking for a better laptop, I would suggest going with the M2 or the M3 when the Air's version of that comes out, or get the base MacBook Pro with the M3. It has the older design, and Apple has shifted from that, and if you want something that's up to date, I would suggest getting the M2 13-inch or 15-inch MacBook Airs, or just go ahead and skip the M2 or M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch. I think that it's too outdated to go into 2024, and so definitely consider the M2 Airs or the M3 MacBook Pro. Now, moving on to M2, the 13-inch did come out in 2022, and then the 15-inch came out this June. So it's pretty early. I would say if you want to get M2, that's still fine. It's still relevant, and you would be doing just fine with any version. It's just the 15-inch is just bigger and has bigger speakers, I believe, and then I think it has better battery life as well. It should be. But overall, it's still a good computer, and if you want to get that one, I would suggest getting that one. So now we get into the M3 entry-level MacBook Pro. So now the M3 entry-level MacBook Pro is something that I'm super excited about because it's like that mid-tier of like you're going a little bit over the Air, but you're just under having all the features of the Pro. Well, higher-end MacBook Pros. And so what I mean by that is the entry-level MacBook Pro with the M3 just has the two Thunderbolts, USB-C, and then the HDMI and the SD card slot. It does not have the third USB-C port on the side where the HDMI port is. And it only comes up to 8 gigabytes of memory for storage. And I think that's kind of disappointing in a way, just because 8 gigabytes is kind of like the new 5 gigabytes of iCloud storage. That's like the super based model. A little bit unfortunate to hear that, but I think that will probably just take a toll on me because I like to have a lot of tabs open. So for me, I would probably have to close out a lot for my computer to remember stuff in its memory. But other than that, I think it will be a fine computer just because I can get that type of computer without having to get the higher end modeled version. Like I said before, I'm still in college, so I just want to use that computer for things that I can handle if I want to decide to use it for Final Cut or, you know, do some video editing, but I'm probably going to focus that more on school things, and if I need to use it really quick to edit or whatever the case may be, it'll be a great option to have ports because just in case if I'm presenting, things like that, since I'm still in college. Now, for the 14-inch, 16-inch M3 Pro and M3 Max chips, you get the new space black color, you get all the normal ports that you've seen from the M2 and the M1 versions of those models. And I think it's a great investment to get because it's, you know, a major significance in jump of performance and efficiency when it comes from the M1, and then about relatively half or a little more than half of that when it comes to the M2 performance. So M3, I think, is a major deal when it comes to performance and efficiency. So if you have something like the M1 Pro or M1 Max and you're needing something that has more power and more efficiency, definitely invest with the M3 Pro and M3 Max chips. Now, with this event, we did not see any new Mac Minis, we did not see a Mac Studio. It was just mainly focused on the laptop and desktop computers. So moving on, we're going to go talk into the iMac. The iMac basically just got a spec bump in the chip performance. So there's no new colors, there's no, you know, USB-C ports for the connecting options for the mouse and the Magic Keyboard. It's just the colors that are the same, the chassis and everything is just having the M3 inside of it now is the only difference in the factor. So if you want to get it, I think it'll be great because if you do have an iMac and you just need something that is still colorful and you just need more power and efficiency, definitely get the iMac. It's definitely a buy since it still starts out at $12.99. So I don't know when exactly that they will be releasing new Mac Minis or a Mac Studio with the M3 versions. So I'm wanting to say you probably still could invest in getting the M2 Pro or the Mac Studio. I wouldn't suggest getting the M2 Mac Mini just because they may come out with the M3 of that version soon. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like if you're needing something with more power, definitely consider the M2 Pro. I got mine and I think it's phenomenal, but I did start making podcasts, and so editing in 4K is taking a toll on storage and the performance a little bit of my Mac Mini. So that's why I wanted to see maybe if I need to start upgrading my specs when it comes to getting the next version of the Mac Mini with the Mac Mini M3 Pro, or if I just should go all out and then get the Mac Studio. Mac Pro, I don't have a need for it, but I think if you want to get it, I think it's a well investment, just like getting the M2 Ultra Mac Studio. But other than that, I don't really have a say for that because it's not something that I actually needed to look into. So yeah, that's my opinions on what you should or shouldn't get based on the Scary Fast event of the Apple event that happened on October 30th. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about what you're considering. I would love to hear from you guys. Also, I do have a podcast, so if you want to check out my older videos that I've talked about and see the team, I love them so much. They have so many great thoughts and so many great opinions. So leave your comments there as well. And also, I will be doing a major unboxing with the M3 MacBook Pro and my iPhone 15 Pro Max. So please make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss that video. Share, like, and enjoy this videos to come, and I'll see you in another video.